are now listening to On One Radio, the talk show podcast station, bringing you the realest entertainment, information, music, lifestyle, and truth and comedy shows around. This is Let's Talk. I don't count likes, calories, or blessings. I don't die with snakes or bite my tongue. It is what it is. I am what I am. I am your host, Tony Williams. Shout out to my new listeners and my On One Stay Ones. If you're not following and keeping up with me, please do so now. YouTube, Facebook, Tumblr, WordPress, Twitter, Instagram, just all of my social media sites mostly. Now, all information and resources are based on the opinions of the host unless otherwise noted. This podcast contains some quotations, images, or excerpts from copyrighted material. These uses fall well within the copyright doctrine of fair use. And welcome once again. Okay, so we're talking tonight, and it's definitely a news topic. Now, a woman was convicted in the texting suicide case. Is to be released for good behavior after denied Supreme Court appeal. Now, I don't know if you remember the story about this, but it's on Michelle Carter. And she was a chick who was charged for manslaughter. And all she pretty much did was, okay, let's get into it. Now, she may have been denied an appeal, but that doesn't mean she'll be in jail for long. Now, the 23-year-old will be released from prison next week after serving a 15-month sentence for her role in the suicide of her then-boyfriend, Conrad Roy. And they're actually doing, she's the subject of a HBO's latest documentary, I Love You, Now Die. Hell of a name, right? But it is what it is. Now, Carter began serving her sentence in February of 2019 and will be released early on January 23rd after serving less than a year for good behavior. The Bristol County Sheriff's Office did not immediately respond to a request for comment on Carter's release. In August 2017, Carter was sentenced to 2.5 years in prison, of which only 15 months of that sentence were required to be served in prison. Now, the rest of Carter's prison time will be suspended. Carter will have served 5 years of probation. I don't know. It maybe should have been more with this. Probably not a maybe. More like a, what the hell? So Carter's case really was controversial because she sent text messages encouraging Roy to kill himself in 2014. She was found guilty of involuntary manslaughter. The case brought up questions in freedom of speech, as well as the role of technology in crime. Well, of course it would. Now, the Supreme Court of the United States declined to hear Carter's appeal on Monday. Her lawyers argued that her conviction was a violation of the First Amendment, and she was found guilty by the things she said to Roy via text, not by actions. Well, that is an action. The action is typing it out, thinking it, typing it out, and sending it. That's 3 different damn actions. So that kind of throws out the found guilty by the things she said to Roy via text, not by actions. I'm just stating what I see here. The trial judge's verdict and the state Supreme Court leave no doubt that Carter was convicted for her words alone. What she said and failed to say to Roy, Carter's lawyers said in the attempted appeal. Now, Carter neither provided Roy with the means of his death nor physically participated in his suicide. Now, the Supreme Court did not give a reason as to why Carter's appeal would not be heard. This isn't the first time Carter's appeal was denied. Now, in February, the Massachusetts Supreme judicial court also upheld Carter's conviction and enforced her prison sentence. So she's been trying to get off of this for a while. But I'm gonna say this, bitch, you did it. You had to serve whatever time they gave you, because you played a very large part. You did. That's just what it is, and you're gonna have to own that. Now, it goes on to say the evidence against the defendant proved that by her wanton or reckless conduct, she caused the victim's death by suicide. Her conviction of involuntary manslaughter as a youthful offender is not legally or constitutionally infirm. The judgment is therefore affirmed. The court's decision read according to the Boston Herald. Now, Carter and Roy's interactions were the subject of HBO documentary Love You Now Die, The Commonwealth versus Michelle Carter, which was released in March of 2019. The documentary delves into the relationship between Carter and Roy, and it also considers how Carter contributed to Roy's death for her own social gain and examines the mental health of both Roy and Carter at the time of Roy's death. So, y'all tell me, y'all listening out there, y'all tell me what y'all think about this, because, ooh, this is a tough one, because you told a boy to kill himself. Yeah, true enough. Nobody's supposed to just go off another person's word, but being young, dumb, and full of calm does not help on both ends. But by the same token, you're not supposed to tell people to kill themselves. That's just morally wrong. I don't care what you do or don't believe in, but you don't aid in someone committing suicide. That's a big fucking no-no. And that was very selfish and some more other things that I'll just try not to say. But it is what it is. So, yeah, she has to serve this. In my opinion, she should serve more time. That's just something you don't do. It's just really not. You don't do that. You don't tell people to kill themselves. It is wrong on so many different levels. It's very inconsiderate. I mean, and to say that is free speech, that I'm gonna have to battle with that one, because I'm not feeling that. I'm not feeling that. There are lines that you just do not cross. She knew what she was doing and everything else. So you gotta own what you do. You gotta own it. He's no longer alive, so you might as well say he's owning his, because he's no longer here. He made his choice as well. She chose to tell him to kill himself, and he chose to kill himself. So she has to own her part, and he is owning his part of it. Let's just say that. But y'all tell me what y'all think. Is that a violation of free speech? Or is this some state has to step in because you're not using common sense? But y'all let me know. If you're listening to this on YouTube, comment in the comment section below. Everyone else, if you're not following me on YouTube, go over to YouTube. Yes. Go over to YouTube. And y'all check me out over there. Like, subscribe, share. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the shows. Check us out on Facebook, On One Radio. Like that page. While you're there, check out On One's Day One's private Facebook group for all the behind the scenes, just everything you want to know about On One Radio. It's going to be there. We talk, we joke, we laugh, all that good stuff. So thank you for taking the time to listen to my talk show podcast. I wish you the best, and don't allow anybody to fuck up your vibes. You have been listening to On One Radio, the talk show podcast station, and this has been Let's Talk, a bit of a news story for you. I've been your host, Tony Williams. So be good till the next time I see you or talk to you.